welcome back to Royalty Soaps. It is Valentine's Day week, my favorite week of the whole entire year, and I am so excited because I have partnered with Ebates again to bring you guys a really awesome giveaway as part of their Random Acts of Kindness promotion this year. If you guys don't know what Ebates is, well, I have talked about them quite a bit in many of my videos, but essentially they are a company that partners with really big brands, all your favorite brands that you shop with online, like eBay and Amazon and any sort of clothing retailer, you know, Victoria's Secret, ASOS, all those big people, and they bring you a rebate or a percentage of your purchase back whenever you use their little app. It can be used in tandem with all of the coupon codes from the retailers. So like if Victoria's Secret is doing like 40% off, you're still gonna get your 40% off because Ebates is its own entity. So you're gonna get whatever percentage from Ebates and you're gonna get your discounts. So it's just like piling discounts upon discounts. It's pretty amazing. And then at the end of every quarter, they send you a check for all the money you saved using Ebates. I will talk a little bit more about Ebates in the video, but if you want to enter the giveaway, all of the links and instructions and stuff are down below. If you already have an Ebates account, that's okay, you can still enter. Today's soap is going to be Rubies and Pearls, and I'm really excited about it because it has lots of different embeds on top. It's really complicated and it just smells so good. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let us begin this soap the way all good soaps begin, with blending the lye water solution into the oils. Gonna pour it down the stick blender to decrease the air bubbles. Glub, 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 glub. Scrapey, scrapey, my silver containy. And now let's do a little Zen blend. My batter is just past emulsification, so I'm going to split it off into 3 little containers. A 1, a 2, a 3. So for this soap, I'm going to be doing some rosy hues. We're going to start with some really red mica. That is going to be the darkest shade. Then we're going to use some raspberry red for the medium shade. And then we're going to mix a little bit of copper sparks mica with some orange crystal mica, and this is going to end up looking really peachy because we're also going to add a little bit of titanium dioxide to both the raspberry red and this orange blend. Gonna add a little bit of that right now, right over the top. And then the rest of the titanium dioxide we're putting into the big container to make a nice creamy white. Let us blend these all up. I'm going to start in the big container because it's the lightest color, and we're going to work our way up to the red. Now that all of my color has been incorporated into the soap, it is time to add the fragrance oil. So this is a special blend that I created. Peach, Magnolia, Raspberry fragrance oil from Nature's Garden, and also their fresh raspberry. It's a really yummy fruity blend, and it behaves really well in cold process. I added the appropriate amount of fragrance oil into each container, so I'm going to mix it all up by hand with my spatula just to make sure that the liquid stays really runny and the soap doesn't start to thicken up, because we're going to do a drop swirl, and I want it to be a really thin drop swirl so that the color moves around quite a bit. After I get the fragrance oil mixed into these containers really well, we will start pouring all of the soap into the molds. Normally when I pour into the molds, I begin with white first, but today I'm going to start with red just to add a little bit of interest to the bottom of the soap. This red is super vivid. It's like a cherry color. Next, we're adding the white, and quite a bit of it. We're gonna almost completely displace that red from the middle of the soap. It's gonna kind of splash up onto the sides a little bit. Next shade we're adding is pink, and I'm going to go up one side and down the other. I do want all of these colors to stay pretty separate. And the final color we're adding is the peach tone. And I'm just gonna pour that straight down the middle. And straight down the middle. Gonna swirl this red a little bit into here. All these shades are so complementary to one another. It's so pretty. Some more white. Right down the middle into that red, it's like so. Go in with the pink again. I'm gonna swirl that in a circle down the entire length of the mold, and a swirly circle of the peach tone. The molds are mostly full at this point, so all that I have left to do is to scrapey out my containers. Make sure that all of the little remnants that are left around them are in the molds, and then I'm going to mix up the piping. I've let this sit and harden up, and this is what the soap looks like before I have put the piping on. I love that peach color. It's so pretty. I'm gonna have to use it in more soaps. So I'm going to mix up the piping and we will put on the top. I will be piping today with the piping bag and coupler from the Royalty Soaps piping set, and then I will be using the Atico 172 tip. This is an open star, kind of crinkly looking tip, and I'm going to start by putting 4 little dollops right across the soap here. And I like to do 4 across whenever the tip I'm using is a little bit smaller. That way you don't lose any of the detail, because if you try to squeeze a whole bunch, those little ridges kind of disappear. I'll show you on this soap. By putting just 3, you can see they look a little bit bigger, but the ridges aren't nearly as detailed. So I'm just going to do 4. I have colored the piping with a little bit of the raspberry red mica that I used on the inside of the soap. It's from nurturesoap.com, and of course all the items that I'm using today I will link in the description box below. I'm going to talk a little bit about Ebates now. I have already done one giveaway with them, and you guys really loved it, so I was really excited that we get to do another one. They have a really big Valentine's Day promotion coming up on Valentine's Day, which is on Wednesday, and you can use that, of course, in tandem with all the coupon codes, which is so nice because it's like getting discounts upon discounts. I've already used Ebates just recently to get a discount on a special store that I can't mention because Caleb's in the other room and he will hear me, for his Valentine's Day present. And I'm going to get some clothes for me from ASOS today, and they are partnered with them as well, so I'll be able to get some cash back there. It is the most handy tool. I was using Ebates before they ever reached out to do a giveaway with me. Like, I had it installed like a year already. I just ended up saving so much money using that app because I was able to use it on the flights that Caleb and I used whenever we went to Hawaii last year. I'm so missing Hawaii, by the way. It's right around now is whenever we returned last year from our big trip, and ugh, if you've seen my recent post on Instagram, you'll see how much I'm missing it because I keep posting like throwback photos. But yeah, we were actually able to get in-store cash back on that trip as well, because they've also partnered with some companies that you can just add your debit card or your credit card to your account, and then whenever you shop in store, they will still give you cash back on your purchases. So it's really, really useful. I'm doing 3 across in the little holes that I made here. I am so loving this color. It's like the perfect pink. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue to do this until the entire soap has been covered. In more recent videos, I am piping horizontally instead of vertically, and that's just because I can see so much better. And if you are just learning how to pipe, I highly recommend that you do it that way so that you can see exactly where each individual dollop is supposed to go, especially if you have marked your molds where your soap bars are going to be cut, like I have here. The final piping will be just 2 little dollops on the top of each soap. soap, and then we'll start to put the embeds on. It took me so long to make all the embeds for this soap. I rarely ever do more than one nowadays, but I just got a bee in my bonnet to do like a really embed heavy soap. So each of the bars will have at least 3 on there. The first part of the piping is on, so now it's time to add the embeds. And I have some rubies and some pearls. I will leave the links to both of the molds that I used to create these embeds down in the description box below. These rubies are gigantic. There is like barely enough room on every single soap for like them to fit. Like you have to put them right in the middle, so I'm gonna be very careful when doing this. Some of them may actually end up touching each other. Should probably put the ones on the ends first. Those are the ones that always tend to get a little bit wonky whenever these embeds are this big. And white Dale. Perfect. The color that I used for these little rubies here is called Relay Race Red. It is from TKB. And then the one that I used for the pearls is Pearl White. How fitting, from Nurture Soap. Velvet Pearl. I'm sorry, it's Velvet Pearl. Shocking, I can't even get the name correct. It's Velvet Pearl. I will apologize once and only once for the sound of my voice. I've been a bit poorly the last few days, and yeah, definitely had a frog in my throat, lots of coughing, not really fun, but it also makes for a rather raspy narrator. I feel like I could narrate like a horror novel or something. And then the killer creaked down the stairway. As a confession, I have never actually read a horror novel before, unless you count The Picture of Dorian Gray as one, which I don't. I think that's just a thriller, but I cannot handle it. I cannot handle horror. It scares me way too much, and like not in a fun way at all. We still have some more embeds, as you can see over here, to put on, and some more piping, but while I'm waiting for the piping to set up a little bit, I'm going to mix some of this Super Sparkles mica with a little bit of sweet almond oil, and we're gonna do a quick drizzle on the side here of the soap. Okay, so let's add a little bit of this onto the side. Time to pipe on the little details. So now I have put in sort of that same peachy tone that I have on the inside into the piping bag. And I'm just gonna take the same piping tip that I had before and place a teeny tiny little dollop here on the side of each of the rubies. It doesn't really matter if it keeps the piping shape very well, because the pearl is what I am going to stick right in the middle of it, so it's probably gonna squash it anyway. My original inspiration was like a beautiful royal crown or something like that, and all of those tend to kind of cluster their gems up pretty close. And now I have the painstakingly delicate job of placing every single pearl right in the middle of each of the dollops. This is going to take a very long time, so I will bring you back when I am done for a close-up of the entire finished masterpiece. And ta-da, they are finished. I am obsessed. Is anyone else getting like little Minnie Mouse vibes? Like, I know, once it has been seen, it can't be unseen. But like the ruby looks like her little bow to me, and then like the little pearls kind of look like little mouse ears. I'm gonna let these sit for 18 to 24 hours, and then we will come back and cut them all up. But seriously, look at those pearls. Ugh, yas, girl. I have been letting this soap sit for a little longer than I thought I would originally. I let it sit for about 48 hours, so let's just cut right into it. The cutter that I am using today is from Bud's Wood Shop. They're an Etsy shop. They have lots of different types of cutters. And this is what it looks like on the inside. So you can see that peach color that I mixed up using the copper mica and the orange mica has darkened up a little bit there. And then of course we have the pink and the red mixed with the cream, and then that nice pink on top with the 2 pearls and the ruby. And the fragrance for this soap is really, really strong. Like, it really stuck super well. So if you're looking for a nice strong fragrance, I can highly recommend this one. I hope you guys are enjoying the gemstone and crystal collection as much as I am. This is a really super fun theme. Ooh, look at this really long skinny dip here of that red color. That looks so cool. So the question of the day is, do you prefer rubies or pearls? Let me know by clicking the I in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Of course, I'm going to have to go with rubies because they are my birthstone, and also because it's the stone in my wedding ring. And while I know pearls are not like technically stones, I still think they're like really, really beautiful, and the way that they're created is just, it's an absolute miracle, honestly. So let me know. I can't wait to see what you guys say. Thanks you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you guys loved the video. Don't forget to enter our $100 giveaway in tandem with Ebates. All of the instructions are down below. And until next time, I hope you all have an absolutely royal week, and bye for now. And happy Valentine's Day. Meow.